welcome to Whack-A-Mole Industries. In today's video, I'll be working on restoring fixing yet another old thing, giving something else a new life. In this case, a 1930 something BSA No1 Mk3 Lee Enfield. This piece here, the handguard, actually is missing a good portion of it, like that much of it. Here is a replica I made out of oak. I don't want to use that because I'm trying to keep this as much as original and restore as much of the old as possible. So in this case, this is the original. So the first thing I needed was a blank piece of wood. This took me a while to track down a piece of wood that when oiled was going to be approximately the same color as the original handguard, just to merge the two together. So the first step is cutting down this stock piece of wood I have. This is walnut again. All the furniture on this is supposed to be walnut. So how am I going to make this piece of wood? So I'm going to use this thrown together router table that I made out of scrap wood and this router right here. I'm going to use a few different bits. I'm using a 5/8 cove that's pretty close to the same size of channel that's in the underside of this original handguard. Then on the outside I'll be either using this bit or this one. So here's how far I am with this handguard so far. Now I need to add that round over like is on this. This was a cut off from another project I did. So it gives kind of an idea of what I'm working with.
So here I'm notching it out so the handguard will fit around the rear sight. You'll see what it looks like as I'm hand filing it.
So after that cut, this piece still doesn't fit. There's two reasons for that. One, I need to lower this down, smooth it out, but also there's this band here, so I need to account for that band. Here, I need to make a deeper section right through here, which I'm probably going to actually hand carve that. So I've done a little more sanding. I gotta remove some material from here. And when I say by hand, I'm gonna try to do as much as I can with this. So now I just need to get this disc fitted. Surprisingly hard to fit a disc onto this for a Dremel when you're trying to do it in front of a camera. So this is how far I've gotten so far. It fits on pretty much perfectly now. So the hard part now is going to be fitting these two pieces together and trying to make them as seamlessly as possible blend together underneath the band that goes right here. So I think the first thing I need to do is figure out, put a mark where the band goes, because I need to reduce the diameter starting there of this piece, and then it's going to extend to approximately about there as well, just to merge underneath this lip from here to here. Hopefully this will hopefully add enough strength. I could go a little farther back, but then that's talking about a lot of extra work. I'm taking a very conservative amount of material off right now. As I said, I don't want to ruin my hard work up to this point. So I'm just going to focus on trying to now straighten up this edge. That edge actually I don't need to care about. I was straightening up the wrong one. Why didn't you guys tell me that sooner, that I was wasting my time and cutting the wrong side? I'm sure you guys noticed it before I did. Now it's ready for the first test fit for the barrel band. But I forgot there's a notch cut right here. There needs to be a notch right here out to fit that. So this is probably the easiest way to make the notch in the top of this. You know what always helps? If you actually plug in your drill press. So now it's time to try to clean up these corners a little bit. Let's see if this is fitting yet. So after a lot of fitting, I can now get the barrel band on. I'm ready to cut this off here now, and then I'll reduce the diameter all the way back here, and then remove the wood into here so these pieces will hopefully fit together. Okay, here's the walnut handguard so far. It's on like that. I have this tang or whatever you want to call it that extends beyond. So now I just need to remove that much material back into there. So while this is looking like one single handguard, there's two pieces right now. And that's how I've fitted these together so far. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add some glue, put a few clamps on it, and let it set overnight, and hope it turns out all good. Don't want to lose my work, but I don't also want to remove more wood than necessary. Now adding the wood glue. This is waterproof wood glue, by the way. Actually, I'm going to add a little bit of tape on this. Now to apply some Old English. In this case, I'm actually using some really Old English oil. Just trying to darken the new wood to try to help it blend in better with the old. But again, I don't want to polish it too much because that wouldn't be historically accurate if it was highly polished. So there's the repaired piece of wood. It's not a perfect match, but with age and adding a little more Old English over time or tung oil, maybe able to balance out the colors a little bit. So here is the original handguard. You can see it's dinged up, has a lot of history behind it, which is really cool. Now here it is. This is the repair. You can see the difference. The old wood is definitely darker, but this is not as obvious with just my eye. Through the camera you can see it, the difference more. With Old English oil and some additional oil, they're pretty similar, which I'm quite happy with. Over time this may get darker, and if it gets a little more dinged up and stuff, it'll match the original better. So I'm very happy with how that turned out. So you ready for a spoiler? Okay, I'm very happy with how this turned out. Maybe this will give you some ideas for a totally unrelated woodworking project that you need some really unusual geometries to your piece of wood to make it fit an unusual shape. Maybe this will give you an idea. Also, I'd love to hear from you guys down below in the comments as always, even just to say hi, or maybe if you're working on a project like this, let me know what you're working on. I would love to hear about that. And on top of that, subscribe as always to catch future videos and also to see the project where I make this piece right here. Well anyways, see you in future videos. Bye.